What if you don't need more time in your day? You simply need to use the time you do have with more purpose and intention. So often we tell ourselves that if we just had a little more time or a little more room in the schedule, an extra hour, extra day, even a whole week, we'd finally get caught up. And yes, more time can help for a moment. But here's the catch. Your work will always expand to fill the time you give it. There's a name for this. Parkinson's Law. And it's why you can get an incredible amount done, during a tight deadline. Yet somehow spend hours spinning your wheels when the day is wide open. If you give a task all day, it takes all day. If you give it an hour, suddenly your brain locks in, cuts the fluff, and delivers what matters. The issue isn't the size of the workload. It's the size of the container you've allowed it to fill. In my conversation with Don Winter, he said something that struck me. While so many busy entrepreneurs resist structure and discipline, that structure is what actually gives you freedom. When you know your business is running like it should, it gives you the freedom to be creative, to focus on new strategies and growth, and more importantly, to take your focus off your business and be fully present with your family. When you have dependable systems and processes in place, you can get out of the weeds and focus on what truly matters. You aren't constantly running around putting out fires. You aren't worrying about something getting missed or someone, not doing their job. Instead, you can spend your time wisely and purposefully rather than reacting to the chaos. In fact, did you know that having a well-ordered business isn't just a smart business practice? It's actually backed by Scripture. Paul challenges us in Ephesians 5:15 and 16. Look carefully then how you walk, not as unwise, but as wise, making the best use of the time. Making the best use of your time requires structure. This is why Paul is urging us, don't drift, don't wander, pay attention, be purposeful. Structure isn't about control. It's about stewarding the life God has entrusted you. Without structure, the urgent parts of your life will always crush the important ones. Your work will demand more. Opportunities will keep multiplying. People will always want more of your time. None of those things are wrong, but if you don't set boundaries, they will take the best of you. Structure gives you margin, and margin gives you presence. Presence with God, presence with your wife, presence with your kids. So let's talk about how to build the structure, practically speaking. Number one, start with simple habits you can do on autopilot. First, try a dinner question each night. Nothing complicated, just one meaningful question at the table. You might ask, what are you grateful for today? Or where did you see God at work? Or even, what's something you learned? You don't need to plan a devotional or create a big moment. Just ask the question and listen. That alone creates connection. Second, build a bedtime blessing into your nights. Choose a short verse or single prayer you speak over each child. Something simple like, Lord, help him grow strong in faith and character. Or Lord, help her know, your love and walk in your ways. It takes less than a minute, but over time, it becomes one of the most powerful anchors in your home. These rhythms remove the pressure to come up with something every night. And over time, they'll shape the spiritual culture of your home. Number two, give God the first 5 minutes of your day. You might begin with a short passage of Scripture. You're not trying to cover a lot. You're looking for one truth the Lord wants to use just to steady your heart for the day. Then take a moment to name a couple of things you're grateful for. It helps you start from just a posture of gratitude instead of pressure. Finish with a short prayer of surrender, something like, Lord, this day belongs to you. Lead me. Show me what to say yes to and what to release. It doesn't take long, but this small rhythm gives you clarity, peace, and a sense of direction. And when you protect it the way you would an important meeting, you'll see how much it impacts the rest of your day and the way you show up for the people who matter most. Number three, turn your calendar into a covenant, not a suggestion. When it comes to your calendar, it's easy to say, your family is top priority. But if you look closely, a lot of times it's work that ends up calling all the shots. You can change that by treating the commitments at home with the same seriousness you give the commitments at work. That might mean putting, date night on the calendar and protecting it. It might mean carving out intentional time with your kids and refusing to let other things push into that space. It might mean setting aside a regular Sabbath rhythm so you can rest and reset. But don't just write these dates on your calendar. Protect them. Let your assistant or your team know, hey, these times are off limits unless it's a real emergency. Not a sort of emergency, but a real emergency. This kind of structure brings tremendous freedom. You're not trying to squeeze your family into the cracks anymore. You're honoring them with your time. And the amazing thing is, work gets easier too because your mind isn't torn in a dozen directions. You can focus at work because you've made real room for what matters at home. Number 4, schedule check engine lights for your soul and home. Just like cars don't usually fall apart all at once, our hearts, our marriages, and even our parenting work the same way. Drift happens slowly. Small issues compound over time until suddenly what should have been an easy fix turns into a big problem. That's why it's important to pause every month and take an honest look at how things are going. Set aside 30 minutes and have a check engine conversation with yourself and the Lord. Ask questions like, how's my walk with God? How's my marriage really? Do my kids feel close to me? Or, have I been distracted? And where am I slipping back into self-reliance? You can even invite your wife into, part of that time. Ask her, on a scale of 1 to 10, how present have I been lately? Then simply listen. Don't defend yourself and don't try to explain it away. Just receive it. The simple monthly rhythm can save you months, even years of drifting without realizing it. It keeps your heart soft and your priorities aligned. Don't wait until a major issue just forces you to slow down and reprioritize. Take steps now to steward your time well so you always have the margin for what matters most: your faith, your family, your health. The freedom you're craving is possible, but it won't happen by accident. Build the structures and routine you need to show up well and watch God transform your life and your marriage, your fatherhood, and your legacy. You might just be surprised. Would you subscribe to the Courageous Men podcast so you never miss an episode? Share it with a friend today who needs the encouragement and challenge to live courageously. Join the Courageous Men community today. Let's take action. Let's be courageous.